Welcome class 11th students. In previous lecture we had discussed about integration. Today we are going to discuss about scalar and vectors. So introduction of scalar and vectors. In simple way, in better know in class 9th level, scalar, the quantity which have only magnitude but not direction. The quantity which have only magnitude but not direction, these quantities are called scalar quantity, as like mass, as like time, as like work, as like density, as like volume. These are as like speed, as like distance. These quantities are called scalar quantity, as like current. So note down the point. All those quantities which have only magnitude but not direction, these quantities are called scalar quantity, as like mass, time, work, density, volume, speed, distance. These quantities are called scalar quantity because they are treated by normal algebra. As like, let's suppose I ask, in my bag there are 2 kg tomato and 1 kg potato. What will be the answer? 2 kg tomato and 1 kg potato. It means total vegetable contained by my bag is 2 plus 1. Without any thinking, we can say it will be 3 kg. Very easy way, because it is treated by normal algebra. 2 kg and 1 kg, it become what? 3 kg. Okay, this is because mass is a scalar quantity. If I ask, on any body 2 Newton force is acting and 1 Newton force is acting on same way, what is the total force? You can't add directly them because force is not scalar, it is a vector quantity. So what are vector quantity? The quantity which needs magnitude and direction. Until direction is not given, you cannot find the exact answer. Here 2 kg, 1 kg, directly we can write 3 kg without any problem, because this is the scalar quantity. No standard algebra is needed. While in same question, if I ask 2 Newton force is acting at 3 Newton, 1 Newton force is acting and 2 Newton force is acting on any body, so what will be the total force? It could be 3. There is a possibility of 3, but not all time it will be 3. As like, let's suppose this is the body and 2 Newton and 1 Newton force are acting in same direction, so it will be no doubt 2 plus 1 is equal to 3 Newton. One answer is there. If in same body 2 Newton force is acting in that direction and 1 Newton force is acting in this direction, so it will be 2 minus 1, so it will be 2 minus 1 is equal to 1 Newton force. Okay, if 2 Newton force is acting in this direction and 1 Newton force is acting in this direction, so no doubt you have to use the parallelogram theorem. It will be under root 2 to the 4 plus 1, it will be under root 5 Newton force. See the probabilities, sometime 3 Newton, sometime 1 Newton and sometime root 5 Newton, because force is a scalar quantity. It could not be treated by normal algebra. Until direction is not given, you cannot solve the numericals. Are you getting my point? So what are the basic difference between scalar and vectors? All those quantities have only magnitude but not direction. They are called scalar, as like mass, time, mass, time, density, so on. You can treat them by normal algebra by adding or subtracting, while those quantities which have a magnitude as well as direction, these quantities are called vector quantities. And these quantities, as like here force, if I said what is the force? Force is a no doubt vector quantity, and there are 3 probabilities, and 2 and 1, it could be 3, it could be 1 Newton, or it could be root 5 Newton. So this is all about introduction of vectors. So there are 2 types of vector. There are 2 types of vector. One is called polar and another is called non-polar. There are 2 types of vector. One is called polar vector and another is called non-polar vector. In polar vector, which starting and end points are given, these vectors are called polar vector. As like, let's suppose position vector, let's suppose body started from O to P, so you will write OP vector. It means this shows the direction. Arrow vector is represented by that arrow. Let's suppose written F is equal to MA. You are putting the arrow on head of force and A, because A is the acceleration. It is a vector quantity. You cannot put the arrow on mass because mass is not vector, it is a scalar quantity. So this is the indication of vector. You have put the arrow on the head of that quantity, that signifies the vector point. Okay, so there are 2 types of vector we are discussing. polar and non-polar. In polar vector, let's suppose body is started from O and end at P. So this is the position, and we can write OP vector, or let's suppose this distance is x. It could be written as x vector. So this is called polar, which starting and end points are very clear. These vectors are called polar vector. As like force, as like acceleration, these vectors are called polar vector. Let's suppose I ask you rotate the body. Let's suppose I ask you rotate this body. See there, I am rotating this body. It means torque is acting on that vector. It means if I rotate any body, no starting and ending point is there. So this is called non-polar vector. So non-polar vector, when any body rotated about any axis, no doubt its direction could be, see there, its direction, if rotating anti-clockwise, see the direction of torque, it will be upward. Torque acting will be upward. If same quantity, same body rotated as like this, right hand thumb rule, okay, apply right hand thumb rule, its direction is what? Downward. So its direction will be downward. Torque is a vector quantity, but starting at ends point are not clear. That's why this is called non-polar vector. We can say it could be rotated clockwise or it could be rotated anti-clockwise. Its direction will be upward. This is called positive. Its direction will be downward. It will called negative. It is a vector quantity, but starting and ending points are not clear. That's why these vectors are called non-polar vector. Are you getting the point? In your syllabus, both vector are there. Polar vector and non-polar vector. As like force, as like acceleration, as like velocity, these are called polar. And torque, angular momentum, these vectors are called non-polar. Which direction will be only to upward or what? Downward. Okay. So this is the types of vector. Next, we will discuss about polar vector. So see, some polar vectors are there. First, position vector. Position vector. This is the position vector. Body started from O to P, and it could be written as OP vector. This is called position vector, which tells the exact value or exact position of any body. That is called position vector. Are you getting point? Next, addition of triangle rule. Yeah, triangle addition rule. Let's suppose this is vector A. This is the vector B. So its result will be A vector plus B vector. This is the addition of triangle. Yeah, triangle rule of addition. This is A vector, this is B vector, so it could be written as A vector plus B vector. Are you getting? That was position vector. This is a triangle law of addition. Okay, same point. Next, opposite vector. You can see there. Let's suppose this vector is P vector and other vector is Q vector. Both magnitude are same. You can see length is same, but direction is upward and direction is downward. We can write P vector is equal to minus Q vector. Magnitude are same, but direction are opposite. These vectors are called opposite vector. Which magnitude is same but direction is opposite. These vectors are called opposite vector. Okay. Next point. Let's suppose you are given this vector is A plus this vector is B. So B can write A vector plus this is upward, so it is B. If B put downward, it will be minus B. So what we can write? A vector, B vector with what sign? Minus. B, convert the plus B into minus B by changing the direction. So what will be this answer? It will be A vector minus B vector. Previously we got the value for addition. This is the value for subtraction. This is the value for subtraction. So we can use the opposite vector to solve the numerical problem as well. Okay. Next, zero vector. Next, zero vector. The vector which magnitude is zero. The vector which magnitude is zero is called zero vector. Which magnitude is zero is called zero vector. Let's suppose I ask some person is standing on road. No doubt his displacement will be zero, so it will be called zero vector. It will called zero vector. Are you getting the point? Okay. Which magnitude is zero is called zero vector. Next, displacement vector. This is in your syllabus. Let's suppose any body is R1. Its position from O to A is R1, and from A to B it is, or let's suppose from another position O to B it is what? R2. Two position of body. O to A body move at r1 distance and O to B body move by r2 distance. If I ask what is the displacement, you better know in ninth level. This is the minimum distance is called displacement. So this displacement is, let's suppose, what, S. It could be downward, it could be upward. The direction change, answer will change. So you apply the addition rule. This is A, this is B. It will be A plus B. So what is the value of R1? R1 vector is equal to, R1 vector is equal to, what we get? R2 vector plus S vector. You better know. As like this, A vector, B vector, so it will be A vector plus B vector. Okay, result. So what are result? So R1, this is R2, this is S. So R1 is equal to R2 plus S. So what is the S? So S vector is equal to R2 vector minus R1 vector. This is called displacement vector. This is called displacement vector. Or if its direction is given upward, now what will be answer? Now what will be answer? So now we can find it. Apply the triangle rule R1 and S. So R2 vector is equal to, we can write R2 vector is equal to R1 vector plus S vector. Triangle rule, same way. So what is the value of S? S is equal to, it will come here. So R2 vector minus R1 vector. You can see here. It was R1 minus R2. It was R1 minus R2. So it become R2 minus R1. It means in that case S was downward. Here S is upward. It means S is working as opposite vector. But here S is called displacement vector. So this is all about your introduction of vectors. Next day we will take very important topic. This is the unit vector and its characteristic. Okay, that's all.